Well, outside my live streams, I've been quiet for the last couple of weeks. What have I been up to? Come back after the titles and find out. Hey everybody, Anthony Dodge, Mouth Train Outsider, the Miracle Outsider, a Night of the Rhomboid Table, back after a couple of weeks of silence, but after 2-3 weeks with many videos, several 20 to 35 minutes long. I think we all needed a break from me, including me. You'll have to excuse me if I look a little peaked or sound a little off. I have been just bedridden ill for the last few days, and I started working over the last weekend on this, and then I just got sick, and I have not been able to go very far. Today I've pushed myself, and I'm trying to at least get far enough where I can make sort of a part 1 video. So what am I doing? Well, now that all the slips are in and all the track lines are straight and meant to be as they should be, I need to go back and deal with the platforms that I took out of the Bremen / Hannover fictional train station. I originally just had some 1/2-inch slats of wood that I had cut to length and fit in between. Because there are not any, as far as I know, sold, like Fowler, Alhagen, Keebry, Fulmer, and that sell platforms that fit precisely in the spaces. Since I'm not following the Miracle geometry and their algorithms for working in their geometry, they had to be custom made. So I custom made the first batch, but I never finished them. And it's probably because deep down I knew I was going to eventually do what I've now done. And now that I've done that, my brain's like, all right, let's start finishing some things. So I had to go out and buy some more slats, and I've got some video here I'll show you where I just show you what I'm doing. I've actually, at the filming of this, I already cut them to size and painted them, so you already see them, but I'll show you what I was thinking and do that. So let's go to that video and let you see what I was doing. When last I showed this section of my layout, when I was putting in all these double slips over here, you would have seen it was all kind of pink here, and I explained that some idiot named Anthony accidentally put the foam boards in upside down. Actually, I didn't put them in upside down. I accidentally bought the double-sided film instead of one that had film on one side like most do. I had to rip the plastic off, and I've just repainted gray here. It looks like crap. You see pink and gray, but once it's all ballasted and everything, and nothing will show anyhow. But these gaps are not conducive to the pre-made European platforms from companies like Fowler, Alhagen, and Keebry and so forth. So what I did was I bought some slats of 3x, and I looked out. This is exactly 2.5 inches here. This is exactly 2.5 inches. This over here was 2.5 inches. This is the narrow one. It's 2 inches. And that's okay because actually Bremen has a narrow one. But they have a lot more going across. So anyhow, I just bought these slats and I've painted them gray temporarily. And there is a point which you can't see. But as I fit these in, I find the first straight, which is right here. And then I go so many rails in. And it came out to 64 inches. And then I fit that in. And I will screw these down from underneath, and that will hold them tight. And then those will be the platforms. So the key is I just had to get the right spot and fit these in. Because the big issue is certain long cars, freight and passenger, when they're coming around, they're a little bit lower, so they catch these. So when they're coming around, they catch these. So you got to come so many rails down, because by that time the car has started to straighten out and it won't catch on the corner. And then I will add narrowing bits up here. So I just have these all in place. And then, as I said, these gaps will pull down and close because there is an uneven bit for some reason. Plus this wood is a bit warped, so it's going to be a little trickier getting under the table because of the double O thing under there. But whole point is that can be slid one way or the other. So anyhow, that platform was okay. And clearly the gray I used is a different gray than that one. But again, I'm going to cover them so it won't matter. Okay, so nothing special, nothing anybody can't do with a little bit of effort, but I'm much happier. Obviously, I've got to screw them into place and flatten them down, and that's very important for the next step, because I never finished them originally, and by finish them, I meant get sort of a platform-looking top to them and you know, make them look like platforms. Now, I do want them to look like the platforms that you see at the Bremen station. And they're basically the same as the Delmenhorst station. So let me talk about the Delmenhorst station. To do the Delmenhorst station, I bought a company called Modusteck. And Modusteck makes the exact type of fake platform surface that you find at Bremen and Delmenhorst. The only difference is Bremen, it's natural and they just use shades of gray. Delmenhorst, they paint the stayback line white. So when I bought them, that's what I did. I painted them white. But otherwise, they're perfect. And their size, they're one size because they come in multiple sizes. It's roughly 75 millimeters. And off the top of my head, I'm forgetting, and I'll try to remember to look it up and point the number here, because they've got three sizes. One of them's 110 millimeters wide. But yeah, those fit perfectly on the platforms for the Fowler ICE3. So rather than buy the Fowler ICE3, I just bought the Modusteck sides, and then you fit the platform surface on the sides, and you have a perfect platform. And it all worked because on the Delmenhorst side coming in, I followed the Märklin geometry, and so it was exactly spaced to fit those wide platforms. And I think I probably made sure I did that to space them so I could fit those platforms in properly. I didn't take that heat because I was trying to get in as many as I could on the Bremen/Hannover side. The problem is, when I first started using Modusteck, it was $8 for one set of platform sheets. They're now up to over $18 or euros. It's very expensive. I would be spending a few $100s to buy their system and install it, and it just that's locos. So cost-wise, it's not smart. Also, they come in preset sizes, none of which fit what I'm doing. My platforms are, if I didn't already say so, 3 are 2.5 inches wide and 1 is 2 inches wide. So I have to custom fit them. I have to custom make them, and you can't do that with Modusteck. Now, in defense of Modusteck, they do sell a generic brick one that you can cut to width. It just doesn't have the stay back lines. Instead, you have to install those separately. And also, Modusteck has texture to it. But what I did was I had some leftover pieces, so I photographed them and then I blew them up to fit the dimensions I need. And I'll pop in a little video here of that. So I blew them up to the 2.5 inches or 2 inches I needed, and then I'll just lay them out across as a proof of concept. And that's where I'll probably end this video today, and then maybe come back with another video unless I can get more done. Although it's a 2-person job what I have to do next, and so I'll have to wait for Joyce to come home and help. So here's where I'm getting so far. All right, so I just took a photograph of some of my leftover pieces of stock from my Delmenhorst platform. I had some pieces left over there, and I just extended them and made them exactly 2.5 inches wide, or in the one platform case, 2 inches wide. And I'm just going to cut these out. I have a paper cutter. I'm just going to cut these down, and those will fit over the platforms. So I don't know how well this is going to show up on the camera, but this is just a proof of concept. There's nothing more to this. It's just proof of concept. So I've taken one of the platforms. This would be a stairway coming up from the main hall. You go underground and then come up to your platforms. And then it just runs that way. So I might want to adjust a couple of things, but overall, I think from a distance, once it's in and glued, I think it's going to be fine. I have to screw the boards down and everything as well, but I think for proof of concept, I think it's the best idea. Okay, so proof of concept, I think, is there. Maybe I need to tweak something, adjust the width a little bit, but really, I think it's my paper cutting skills that need work. Even with a proper paper cutter, I think I nipped off a little too much on some of them. But anyhow, be that as it may, that is what I have. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about what I've done and where it's going to go. So I'll probably do another video once I've got them all printed and finished. Okay, so until next time, I will say Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, and happy trains. Take care, everybody.